when you're talking about these elite athletes, these goats, so to speak, they have a level in their minds and their drive that is abnormal, obviously, to get them to that point. They are so driven and so hyper focused on whatever skill, sport, talent it is that they have that, to me, I mean, all right, to be called the greatest at whatever you're doing at that time means that you reached the pinnacle at a point that nobody else feels that they could get to at that time, right? That they feel like, wow, you are doing this the best. So if that's the case, then that person who's at the best has no reference point to what is better or what they could then move the next, like what bar is going to be moved up that they could then go for or try to beat, or then like they have set the bar at their spot. And so I just think it's so easy for me to imagine that if Michael Jordan was playing and LeBron James was playing at the same time, Michael Jordan would look at LeBron James and change and get better at things that he needed to get better at to adjust to try to be just as good in whatever ways. Just as like put Michael Jordan into today's NBA with the 3-point shooting, and people today would say, well, Jordan wasn't as good of a 3-point shooter, so maybe his game wouldn't have translated. Like, are you fucking kidding me? That dude's drive, he would have been one of the best 3-point shooters in the NBA. There's just no way to account for what he would have done had he known what the game would be. He set the bar to what it was. And it's the exact same thing for, you talk about the Muhammad Ali, Mike Tyson argument that they were talking about was, if Mike Tyson was around when Muhammad Ali was around, Muhammad Ali would have gotten better or focused his skills to the point that he would have been right there with Tyson, or maybe not even better, because you cannot put a limit or a ceiling on these type of super athletes, of superhumans, of driven people. You just cannot put a limit on it. That's my argument to all these things. That's why these generational GOAT, it's generational. That's what it is. It's a generational GOAT. That's what we should all have. It doesn't, like, Jordan versus LeBron is an irrelevant conversation. It's an irrelevant conversation to me. It doesn't make sense. And it's how I feel about all of them. And like, I think they're entertaining. I think we're looking for things to talk about, and that's why they are what they are. But I just think you have to remember, like, these world-class athletes, you can't put a ceiling on them, is what I would say. Especially when we're talking about the upper echelon of whatever it is, because they would just get better. They would just put in more hours. They would just do the work. Maybe it's hard to imagine looking at Michael Jordan and saying, oh, he could be better. But if there was somebody better, he would be better. Yeah, I have no doubt in that. No doubt in that.